Hey guys, this is Carmen Chloe of redefiningwidowhood.com and carmenchloeglobal.com. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 ways that you can help a widow. If you have a widow in your life, whether it be a family member, a friend, or an acquaintance, I want to give you 5 tips for how you can assist them on this journey. I think a lot of times, especially in the widow community, we speak amongst each other about how to get through this journey, how to get through the different things that we encounter. However, I believe that it's also important that the people who are around us in our circle and our family are educated on what they can do as well to assist along this journey. So tip number 1 is don't tell them to let you know if they need anything. Instead, bless them with something that you know that they need. Everybody needs food, everybody needs money, everybody needs someone to check on them. So don't say, let me know if you need anything, because honestly, when you're in the throes of widowhood, you don't even know what you need. You know you need to eat, you know you need assistance with different things. So just be a blessing instead of putting the ball in their court to say, hey, let me know if you need anything, because honestly, in those first days, those first weeks, the first months, like, you're not in the right state of mind. Tip number 2 is continuously check on them after the funeral and well into that first year. Everybody goes on about their life after the funeral is over, and I get it, because everybody has their own life to live. Everybody has their own lifestyle, trauma, drama, stress, whatever it is that they're dealing with. But if your widow friend or your widow family member crosses your mind, especially in that first year, you definitely want to check on them. A lot of times widows are forgotten about after the funeral. It is what it is, and we're left to kind of commune amongst each other and hope we find a support group, or hope we find some other widows across the globe that we can connect with, when we have people that are right in our circle, right in our corner, that could serve as a safe space for us. Tip number 3, don't pretend that they are not a widow. And what I mean by that is acknowledge their trauma, acknowledge their grief. A lot of times friends and family can just not even bring up the fact that their family member or their friend went through one of the most traumatic events of their life, losing their life partner and their spouse. And as a result, they don't talk about it, they don't bring it up. When the widow brings it up, they kind of shy away from it, or they change the subject, or they downplay it. Don't be that person. Don't try to pretend like the woman is not a widow just because it makes you uncomfortable. Tip number 4 is to give them grace. Give the widow in your life grace. Again, especially during that first year in widowhood, you're trying to figure out life. You're trying to rediscover who you are, and just having outside pressure and not being able to flow through that process freely and without pressure can cause additional strain that a widow just does not need. Last tip number 5 is don't discount them by forcing them into categories that make you feel more comfortable. What I mean by that is, don't force a widow into the category of single or into the category of single mom. Now, this is no shade, no discounting, no disrespect towards those who consider themselves single or a single mom. However, what it does, when instead of you saying that someone is a widowed mom, you say they're a single mom, or instead of saying that someone is widowed, you say that they're single, it discounts their story. It discounts what they've been through. It discounts their trauma and their grief. No, we're not trying to be identified or try to make a big space for our trauma and our grief, but you definitely want to acknowledge that that person has been through a life-changing event. You definitely want to acknowledge that that person did have a spouse who no longer exists. They didn't get a divorce. They're not separated. Their person is dead. So because of that, they're not just simply single or a single mom, they're widowed. And it makes a difference when you make that known. So those are my 5 tips for 5 ways that you can help a widow that is in your life, to help them to kind of navigate this journey a bit better, to help you to be a bit more compassionate and a bit more present to someone in your life who may be widowed, who may have just come upon this journey. So those are my tips. Make sure you check the description section to see how you can connect with me. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Turn your notifications on so that you hear when I drop a new live video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.